one of the first questions that I get when we're doing a strategy session or a consultation with somebody about probate, or frankly, if I'm talking with other people, they always ask me, how long does probate take? And I tell them, hey, even for quote unquote simple probate, you're probably looking at 7 to 9 months, somewhere in there, could be longer. And then their follow-up question is, why does it take so long? It's a complicated thing. There's a lot of factors that go into why probate takes as long as it does. Part of it is just the nature of it, right? And so one thing that we have in Florida, and I think most states have, is what's called a creditor period, which is a length of time that we have to wait while the probate is open to see if the person had any debts, and give an opportunity for credit card companies, hospitals, to file a claim in the probate court and say, hey, so-and-so passed away, they owed us money, where's us money? And in Florida, where I practice, it's a 90-day window. So we know for sure the probate's gonna take at least 90 days in most cases, because we have to wait that 90 days before we can even transfer any of the assets. And we know that before that 90 days, it's gonna take about 30 to 45 days to get the person named as the personal representative, or some places say the executor. So you're looking at 4 months right off the bat. And then there's probably going to be some other things that come up. Frankly, it might take a while to get things signed, how quickly the client moves. It might take a while for the judge or the court to sign things, depending on if there's holidays, if the court's closed, or if the judge is a little bit slower, depending on all those factors. And then you might have an angry sibling who hires an attorney, and now they mess up things. So there's a lot of different factors that can kind of come into play as to why it's going to take long. But I always tell clients, especially if there's a piece of real estate that needs to be sold, and now you got a bunch of realtors that are involved and they want to get the property sold right away. It's not an overnight process. It is unfortunately a lot of just back and forth. It's a tedious process, and it's going to take, like I said, minimum probably 7 months. But I'm seeing more and more probates are taking a little bit longer than they used to, and I'm seeing them get pushed up to, on average, 10, 11 months sometimes. So no great answer as to how to shorten them. Unfortunately, it just sort of is what it is. But the things that you can do is, if you're going through it, make sure you're responsive, make sure you're signing the documents, getting the information back to the attorney that you're working with as quickly as possible, and then just follow up with your attorney. Make sure that they have the resources, that they're moving the cases along, that they have the manpower to kind of be calling the courts, because that's one thing that happens a lot of times, is you just might have to be calling the court, say, hey, what's going on? So it takes a little bit of time. As much as possible, you just have to have some patience, because it is a process.